All right, y'all bear with me. It's my first time speaking. Can y'all hear me? I'm not going to use this. I don't hear me. So I'm excited to be here. I'm here for you guys. It's all about y'all, not me. I only got 30 minutes, thank God. I don't like to speak. I don't like to draw attention to myself, but we're going to make it through this. Look at Sheila with the camera. All right, so where's the skeptics? Any skeptics in here?
This guy.
You're a skeptic.
My husband.
Just one skeptic. Okay.
That one.
The
Bigfoot.
believers with no encounters. All right. One thing that we all can agree on in here is that at some point in ancient history, everyone on the planet believes the earth was flat. That's not what this is about, but can you agree? Everybody can agree. At some point, everyone believed the earth was flat. And there's a certain few people that started picking up on evidence that might have pointed out the fact that, well, it could be round. So they started studying, taking this evidence, doing projects. Everything they were doing was revealing that the earth was actually round. So they took this evidence to the flat earthers, and then the ridicule started. My knees are shaking. Let me get up here.
You got this.
So,
This is interesting.
so you had one trying to convince the others. The one had the evidence. Let's take it to these guys and let's convince them. Well, you can't convince everybody. So the ridicule starts. As far as believing and knowing, there's a little bit of a difference. Did anybody see the UFO hearings last summer? It's not about UFOs either, but there was a retired Navy pilot on there. You remember? They asked him, do you believe that these UFOs is a threat to national security? He said, yes. Here's how I know. So, I'm not here to convince anybody. With the evidence that we've had, myself and the crew, we can't take this evidence to the non-believers and, well, this, you know, this is just our experience. The truth's out there. It was revealed to some of us a long time ago. Like you mentioned, my first one was in '92. But it didn't hit home. I wanted to forget about that. I thought, there's no way that happened. Tried to block it out of my mind. Yeah. Oh, Andy here. Thank you, Andy. Andy knows I'm not much of a speaker.
He's not. He's not. I know his mouth had to get dry.
He knows this is really hard for me.
You doing it?
Thanks, Andy. You're doing great, man.
Breathe. That's right. Thank you. So, 92. Everybody's got to have a safe place. You know, a place to go to unwind, to meditate, to heal. For me, it was the forest. I love the outdoors. don't spend as much time out there as I should. But Scott Granger said it best. He said, every outdoor enthusiast has had one thing that's happened that they cannot explain. Some people take it so hard they don't ever want to go back out in that part of the woods again. They'll never set foot, they'll never go camping, they'll never go hunting. But there's a certain few that want more answers. Not to prove a point that some people would, but for me, no. I need it for myself. I don't know why. Call me crazy. I don't know. It's a rush. It's a rush to me. But it's the times that leaves you in a catatonic state that you know there's something more to this, and it'll draw you back in. So, before I met the Grangers, most of my time I was spending out there alone. With nobody having my back but George Dickel some of the times. But now you're probably thinking, well, there's your answer. He's a drunk. He thinks he's seen Bigfoot. No, that wasn't the case. You can't do 5 mile hike or 6-7 mile hike, with alcohol. You can't do it. So I'm going to skip a couple of my first few encounters, and I believe if y'all hang around long enough, you'll hear about some of mine through, I think the movie tonight. So 2018, I believe it was. But it's one that hit home with me. We were hiking, a friend of mine, in a certain place, and she was kind of on the fence. She had been to a couple conferences with him, watching the different things that I was also. So she was kind of on the fence. So we're hiking. And the only thing I had with me that day was an old pair of binoculars. And we're halfway down the trail. I hear some rock clacking. I'd never heard that before other than on YouTube channels and other witness encounters. They would talk about rock clacking. But when I heard that, I stopped dead in my tracks. She's still walking. I've got the binoculars up, and I'm looking in that direction where the clacking came from. I'm scanning the area. The only thing I can see is what looks to be like a stump. Well, that's pretty odd. There shouldn't be a stump over there. You just have to know the terrain. She's 10 steps ahead of me. She turns around. She says, "What?" I said, "Did you hear that?" She said, "Yeah, it sounded like clicking or something. It was rock clacking." So she comes back. I point her in the right direction with binoculars. She thinks she sees it. She's not sure. So here's what we'll do. We'll mark the spot right here in the mud. We're going to continue on this trail. When we come back, we're going to stop. And I would like to go out there and check out this area. So we go on to the end. Quite a ways out there, we hear different movement. Now this is the middle of the day. We hear coyotes, stuff like that. Just the forest is alive, okay? We get to the end, we turn around. Long story short, we get to that spot in the mud, looking for the area that I need to go in. Well, guess what? The stump's gone. So right then I noticed that the forest is quiet.